Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 lessons I learned in the 6 years I was supposed to have graduated, or the 6 extra years I spent before I graduated. And what next, basically. So stay tuned. Yeah, if you're just watching, if you're just finding this channel for the first time, you have to go check out the previous video for you to understand what these 6 years and six lessons mean, basically. Anyway, if you watched the last one, thank you very much. Thank you for the comments and the likes. Yeah, stay tuned. So, before I give you the lessons, I need to give you a backstory, kind of like a bit of it, yeah. So, this is the origin story of graduation Cindy. Now, why did I choose to come to Ghana? And why did I choose to study IT? Anyway, so after high school, it initially, yeah, I think there's going to be a separate video for this because it needs to be talked about. People kept asking me what I wanted to do. I was in science class then. You know all this perception they have about students in science class. So anyway, I was telling everybody that I was medicine, I wanted to study, and there are so many reasons for that, but I'm not getting into that in this video. Then, my cousin's boyfriend, I said it was Unilag I wanted to go to actually. My cousin's boyfriend heard me talk about it, and he had just come back from India then. Sorry, sorry about the noise. My neighbors. Anyway, so he had just come back from India then, and he was like, "Yo, that if your parents can afford this, go to Ghana. Don't stay here." And he gave me examples of what happened when he went for his visa and stuff. He's like, I should go to Ghana. And that was how it started. I went to search. He told me what to look for. I went to search, and then that was like when Facebook was. I mean, there was Twitter, but that was when Facebook was also like popular. And then I had met some people. I had a friend in Ghana already, like a very close friend. And then there was another person I met. He was in Ghana too. He was a student. So I had been searching for schools to go to, and then he mentioned his school. I'm like, oh, okay, then let's do for that. Yeah, he helped me get the admission. I sent the money. He helped me get the admission and all that. Then I actually got the admission, and this was the part where I fought my parents actually. When I say I fought my parents, I didn't mean physical fight though. So I didn't tell them. I told them that it was in Lagos actually. I did. I had my reasons why I did that, but I'm glad that it played out the way it played out. And then I brought they later asked for the admission letter, and I showed them, and my mom was, so you this girl, you got, you got admission in Ghana and you were not going to tell us, you're going to go without telling us. I was like, "Ah." I mean, when I did everything on my own, it's like nobody assisted me, so but they're like, no, you can't go to, and people that go to all these their rumors that people like to carry around. I don't want to mention it in this video anyway. But all these people that go to Ghana, blah blah blah. I'm like, maybe that's what I'm going there to do. And they're like, you're not going on. I said, okay. Oh." I kept quiet. So this went on for like, I got the admission in like probably September-ish period or October, but like I was supposed to resume in January. So during this time to November, December, I wasn't talking to anybody. You they call me, I won't answer. Please do not try this at home.
Warning: the following stunts were performed by professionals. Do not try this at home.
I mean, I understood the parents I had. If they tell me come and do this, I say, ah, see, I be looking at me here, eh? My mates are in school rather, so assume that I am in school with them. I'm not here with you. So that went on for months. See, I'm a stubborn child. Just know that. But I was always a good child. I was just see that's not the behavior of a good child. I was a stubborn child. I get that. But I think that inspired me. What my cousin's boyfriend had said then inspired me to, you know what? Maybe I need to, because I wasn't thinking of going anywhere. I mean, like I said, I knew I would travel, but I didn't kind of look at it that way. And then when I got it, I'm like, oh, possible. So in January, I came. And that has a story on its own because I didn't go to that school. I initially was all nations I got into. I didn't go to it eventually. What happened? I came and my friend, my actual friend that I knew from high school came to pick me up from the airport. And all. And then he yeah, I had to stay with a friend of his too. Rearranging with the other friend that was a guy that helped me get the admission. And and I think it stayed like a week. Then he came. So the story was that we were going to go to his auntie's house before going to school. Hmm. Hmm. Anyway, I'm not trying. I don't want to swear. Okay, but anyway, that didn't work out. That didn't work out. Like that's you know all these things that people do for you that they expect sex as payment. Sort of. I wasn't. First of all, if you wanted payment for helping me, my money, you'd have told me even before coming to Ghana. That would have been done. But I've noticed that a lot of people do things for you to exchange for that. Especially, I think a lot of girls relate to this anyway. But that didn't work out, definitely. And I decided, the gist I gave him was that, you know what, my dad said I should come back to Nigeria, and that was a lie anyway. And I went back to my friend that I knew from high school. And then his school was kind of like closer to the airport for me compared to going all the way to Koforidua. And I'm like, see, I'll go here instead. So we started that one again. Got new admission and I stayed in this one instead. But my cousin had advised me, you know what, go and check that out first and see if you go there. I went, but I kind of like prefer staying in Accra, so I just went to the one in Accra. That was the origin story for that. Me coming to Ghana. It for my parents, yeah, it was I think because I grew up should I say too early? I grew up faster than I was supposed to. I was already very independent when it comes to taking care of myself, not finances or but like taking care of myself from high school because most times I spent it alone, they traveled, and I knew how to take care of myself. So finding admission for school wasn't going to be like a big deal for me. And I already had someone that told me what to do. I can search online and find. So what I actually did at the cyber cafe then. I don't know if they still have those. They should still have those in Nigeria anyway. Well, that was how I got the admission. And see, I think for those months, the thing was that when I wanted to get admission in Lagos, because I was the only one that had to go through it, I'm like, you know what? No, I decided this is what I want and I'm going to go. That was why I said I fought my parents and their no. I was like, okay, well, I mean, that was just me being like a stubborn child. And I repeat, don't try this at home. And that's the parents I had. So, hmm. So when I came initially, it was supposed to be computer science. But when I was applying to the other school, I changed it to IT for because I asked my friend. My friend was already in computer science. It was like, hey, you're doing for that master. I said, eh? Hmm? I'm not doing that. So I went to I was like, so IT they don't do. I said, okay, yeah. So I went with IT, is because I didn't want to have anything to do with further math. So when I got there, yeah, I've there are so many lessons I learned. Like now that I'm like those 6 years I took, I learned a lot of lessons, especially kindness and compassion to myself. It was hard. It was hard adjusting, and that I think um coming to uni, my first 2 years was hard. I was just trying to cope. Yeah, but someone that didn't have computer in the house because the excuse there was that to me I felt it was excuse, to be honest, because I understand my parents very well. When they don't want to do something, they'll give you a very weird excuse. The excuse then was how they don't want anybody to learn fraud or something. I'm like, we know when you are lying. But anyway, so when I came, I struggled for the first 2 years. I'll say like the first 2 years. I even repeated it because I repeated Java. Yes, sorry. I repeated Java. I did. I repeated Java, and I think after that, I got to like initially I was trying to catch up and I couldn't. But repeating that course, and then I think then people were so scared that the worst thing that can happen to you is repeating a course. But I did. But I think that helped me understand it better. Do you get, like, when you're just coming to uni, you have no background in IT or programming languages. I mean, people might expect other people to catch up immediately, but no, me, I struggled like physically. You could see that was when I was gaining a lot of weight, and I understand that that happens to me. Like sometimes I found ways to cope, and for some people, you can find your own ways to cope. It could be physical, it could be maybe food addiction, whatever it is. But I found my ways to cope, and it was still 300 actually. That kind of like found my balance. That okay, I have an idea of what I could do. I did still know what I wanted to do, to be honest. The whole point of gaining admission was to get out of the house, if I'm being honest. It wasn't that I had like a goal planned or a future I was like seeing that I wanted to do. No, I just wanted to get out of the house. I was miserable, and I think I might do a video explaining why I said I was escaping my life. I was unhappy at home. Yeah, I was unhappy. So the whole point of gaining an admission was to get out of the house, basically. And I'm out of the house, and I'm still struggling. So it was still like 300 level. I kind of like understood what I could do. So 400, and then I couldn't defend my project, like I said in the last video. It was financial reasons. But taking that whole time out from school taught me a lot of lessons, and I had to come to a lot of truths about myself. They were hard truths, to be honest. They were hard, and it's like I had been, regardless of me fighting my parents. Yeah, there are some things that you don't let go of until you are very aware of. It's that um trying to still follow their ways, yeah, their own expectations of who you should be. We never really dropped that, if I'm being honest. So I continue trying to live live a certain way, trying to seek. I was still seeking like approval, like external validation from people, like I was a good girl. The worst thing any woman should do is keep trying to be a good woman or good girl. You're going to lose yourself. That is very true. So I spent like most of the years trying to be seen a certain way, which didn't really flow who like with who I was. I was still seeking external validation from people. So I struggled for like 4 years, and being out of, like, I couldn't graduate. That was another like phase for me. So apart from the financial reasons, at some point I had to be honest that I was actually scared to graduate. It wasn't and that was because like I didn't know what I wanted to do, and that felt like a bad thing to me. That was like a terrible thing. I felt very lost. So in those 6 years, coming to that like truth that I actually was scared to graduate. I had to I had to move regardless of that fear. But they were like things I learned. So for the 6 years, let me call them 6 lessons. I group them as 6 lessons I learned. So the first one would be kindness and compassion, if I'm being honest. Because that opened me up to other things that I would heal from or lessons I would learn. The first thing was kindness and compassion. I had to I had this mantra during that time that be kind to yourself. I think after my friends had graduated, yeah, that's when I started fully like post I know I didn't graduate, but like people experience post graduation depression. And that is kind of like feeling lost, not knowing what you want to do or what's going to happen. I mean, you had identified as a student for 4 years. Now that you are graduating, who are you? So that was the question I couldn't answer because I think that happened because I had spent a long time holding the like people telling you what you are. I had spent a long time like identifying with those things. Oh, she's a good girl. Oh, she's this, she's that, blah blah blah. And that wasn't working for me anymore, and I had to figure out who I was. And that was that whole phase. There's this it feels like this emptiness, not really. Let me see, like you have no identity. And for someone who has held like identity identity as like a very important thing all her life, you will struggle. And that was what happened to me. I had to start practice. That was when I found the Lisa Nichols video and started practicing kindness to myself. See, I did this for every day. I did this every day rather. uh be kind to yourself. That was like the mantra. So it was like I'll be kind to myself. And then you learn ways to be kind to yourself. I think the second lesson I learned was not to compare myself to people. My friends are graduating. That is very see, nothing not because you're happy for everybody graduating, but you what's happening? You feel left behind, basically. But I mean, it's different. I mean, after all this time, it's different. It didn't even take me. I think it took me a while to feel being left out till like it just didn't matter anymore, because yeah, at some point, I think this didn't even last up to 2 years. It stopped like being important to me because it was like I was on a journey of figuring myself. And for some reason, I think my soul understood that not comparing myself to others, maybe looking at someone is graduating or someone is getting married or someone is getting a car, got a job or a house. At some point, it didn't matter to me. But see that period that they were graduating, I was anxious. I was scared. So, yeah. But I learned that not to compare myself to others. I didn't even know much about like I am enough then. Yeah, I didn't know much about that. But I started getting comfortable with being where I am. Yes, I know that it's but um I started getting comfortable with like being where I was. Hmm. I think with that, it will flow with the third one I'm picking, learning to be okay with not knowing. I think like this whole period that I was experiencing depression, I leaned towards monk teachings. Yeah, the Buddhist teachings. It doesn't mean I am Buddhist. No, I practice everything. That's what I like to say. I pick wisdom from where I find it. And the monks had a lot of wisdom concerning this, because I think that was when George introduced me to Crazy Wisdom na by Trognam. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's Crazy Wisdom. And he talks about ego is you thinking you know everything. And that's most of the time that's why we suffer there, because we think we know it all, and then what we know is not happening the way we want it to. I mean, you think you get the normal flow that we've been taught is you go to university, you graduate, you get a job, you get married, kids, get a car. Anyway, that is just standards that people set that I had to unlearn. For me, I had to unlearn those standards and know that, you know what, if it works for other people, good. Maybe my story is different. And I love that I learned towards like the teachings of the monk and being okay. Like I learned how to sit in not knowing, being, because nobody likes to, even our education system is built that way, in the essence that you not knowing the answer to something is like a huge terrible deal. You get shamed, you get punished. So you not knowing even what you want to do with your life. You see, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but that's why I said I wanted to study medicine. I didn't know, and each time you say you don't know, people look at you as if you're silly, like you don't know, and like you're a fool. Let me put it that way. That's how people look at you. But like, what's his name? Sadhguru would say, like, there's nothing to me. Yeah, that's your perception. That has nothing to do with me. And I had to sit with not knowing. Yes, because we're all scared that people will look at us a certain way. But if we're being honest, they really don't matter. If if we are being completely honest, those people do not matter. In like when you look at your life and you look at their opinion, you eventually learn that you see the opinion of others don't really matter. It's when you start to believe that same thing about yourself, then it starts to have weight more than it should. So the next, I think the fifth one, yeah, I'll say it is letting go of expectations and entitlement. And this is what life will teach you if you're learning, if you're willing to learn, rather. Expectation is you thinking that life will flow the way you want it to. You see, with the standards I initially mentioned of how you're supposed to get married, have kids, graduate, get a job, that is standard, and that is you having expectations. What if life has something more, I wouldn't say more better, but more authentic for your journey? Yeah, I didn't graduate when I was supposed to graduate, but it doesn't matter. I was able to rediscover myself. I was able to connect with myself, and that is so much. See, I wouldn't trade the experience for anything. I'm willing to always be a student in life. To be honest, like I learned to entitlement, yeah, had a lot to do with even my parents, yeah. Because for a while I blamed my dad for a while, like not him like talking to him, but inside I did. Because yeah, I said I was scared of graduating. And which other way would I find? I'll blame the fact that it's financial reasons. I mean, since now the student identity, I can hold on to it, be scared, and say, oh, the reason why I'm still where I am is because this, and this happened. That's I had to unlearn all of that. Entitlement, you're not entitled to anything in life. Be grateful for what you have. That's why I had to find gratitude even when sitting in the shit. I had to find gratitude there. And like these lessons, yeah, I wouldn't trade them. I think the final one I would say is mourning the the picture or the dream of like the kind of life you thought you would have. You have to let it go. And I for a while I was thinking I see, do you know what's funny? I didn't have anything. I felt like I thought I was supposed to do what others were doing. So having that idea in my head was maybe the person I was dating then, maybe we get married eventually. But if I'm being honest, yeah, if I go back to Cindy that was fearless at 13, 12, maybe that's not what she wanted. Maybe she wanted something more. Even if she's like going to be partnered in the future, maybe she wanted something more, and I had to mourn whatever dream I had or the expectations of graduating at uh that year and things like that. I had to let all those ideas go. And it wasn't easy. I mean, it's easy for me to pinpoint these lessons now, but going through them, it wasn't easy. And although I said I wouldn't trade it, because I have learned so much, I have grown so much, and it's been absolutely amazing. Now, like someone said, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. He's like, amazing doesn't mean perfect. Yeah, it's you finding in the beauty in whatever it is you're experiencing, you connecting to its authenticity. It doesn't mean that you won't have days that you're down, you're sad, or you feel sad, or you feel happy. You experience everything, and to me, that's what I find amazing. So after all this, yeah, how do I feel about uncertainty? I'm excited. I am thrilled because to me now, I told you then I used to be very pessimistic. Actually, I thought God was punishing me because I wasn't graduating the year that I was graduating. I know, that's what I thought, that I had seen too much. So here's your punishment: no graduation for you, or no leaving school for you. But now, I embrace the lessons. I really needed to reconnect with myself. I really needed it to reconnect, because maybe I'd have gone to make some life decisions and I'm at this age regretting them, and I'm not even up to 30. But anyway, um now I feel life is full of wonder. That's how I choose to now refer to uncertainty as wonder, because there's so much. There's so much wonder in life, you never know. And that, I think, that is what gives you when you reconnect with yourself, yeah, it gives you freedom to expect nothing, but you get the full experience of it all. Because maybe I'll talk about this in another video. Yeah, I have gotten to the point where I don't judge things as good or bad. Because most of the things that we judge as bad, it gets to a point that we eventually say, oh, I'm glad this didn't happen. Thank God it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. So that's the way I look at life now, with wonder, with uncertainty, with no judgment. I try my best because most of these are patterns of behavior we have practiced for a long time. So it will linger, but we eventually unlearn them. So this is my origin story and my lessons from my journey in this 6 years from the time I was supposed to graduate, that I had to let go of that identity or whoever she was. I had to let go of it and meet me with a lot of kindness and compassion and love. To be honest, love, like, there was a day that the only thing I was feeling for myself was love. I kind of like understood what I was feeling was a love, nothing else. And maybe I had expressed love in the most unkind ways and uncompassionate ways. We think that being hard on ourselves is love, or being I don't know the word for it, but I think we grow up around people who criticize us and say, I say this because I love you. And then we learn their own expressions of love and we start treating ourselves that way. But I like I feel lucky every day of my life. I feel like everything is magic. I feel so filled with love and kindness and all of it. And it makes me inspired to unlearn unhealthy patterns and learn healthier ways to love me, which kind of, to me, I see it extends to other people, because I wouldn't treat you differently how I treat myself. If I am not kind to myself, I definitely will not be kind to you. And I see, like, when people treat me a certain way or do certain things to me now, I understand from the point that everybody's doing the best that they can, yeah? And you can't give what you don't have. If you are not kind to yourself, you cannot be kind to me. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love me. I mean, when I even say that, maybe if you don't love yourself in the healthy ways, you cannot love me in a healthy way. So I kind of like understand. I get it. And compassion like allows you to create boundaries for yourself. So these 6 lessons, I hope that wherever you are at your journey, yeah, you are able to connect with them. You don't have to take 6 years to graduate to learn this. I think if you, I think for me, yeah, life had to, wake up. Yeah. But I think once you accept that you know nothing and you're willing to learn, you see every experience in your life as a learning experience, you're going to change in ways you don't believe, like you don't expect. You're going to grow, you're going to change, and you're going to heal. See, there's no time frame. I'm going to do a different video for like getting through depression. There is no time frame for that. There's no time frame for anything. I think somebody said that it depends on your resistance towards change happening. And we suffer because we resist change. We suffer when we resist life happening because we think we are above certain emotion, we are above not knowing, we are above sadness. This whole idea of pursuit of happiness, I don't subscribe to it anymore. And I hope that me sharing my experiences and my story, even in the most imperfect ways, I hope that it connects to whoever who needs it. I hope that wherever you are in your life, that you're feeling like you don't know what your purpose is or what you want to do with your life. I hope that you see that as an opportunity that, you know what, I don't know. That's fine. That doesn't mean that I am not good enough, I am not worthy. Maybe it's time for me to find that out. Because truly, is how would I put it? Truly, like you have an opportunity to reconnect with your old self. I mean, we grew up in a society that, for most of us, their education system does not allow us to explore a lot of things. At a very young age, you want to give kids an identity or even an occupation, yeah, and they don't allow you to be flexible and to change. And a lot of us have so much talent. We have like things that we would care enough about that gets up makes us excited to get up in the morning. So I hope that my story or my experiences connects to whoever who needs it, that like life is not supposed to be a certain way. That's a lie. That's a lie that they feed to us. Yeah, that if you're feeling this, it means this. It doesn't. Nobody knows. Nobody, they don't know. They have no idea. So I am doing this like to encourage you wherever you are in your life. Maybe there are other ways you can look at it. If you don't know what you want to do, maybe it's time, maybe this is your time to learn and figure out what you want to do or what you care about, what you would really like to dedicate your life doing. For me, if you ask me, I'm still figuring it out. If I'm being honest, I'm still learning every day. This now is one of the things that I want to do: connect with people, have conversations that makes us feel good, like a little less, or makes our experience in life a little less miserable. And I'm really grateful that our conversations about mental health, all these things are becoming is a thing now. Compare, I'm sure like our parents didn't have most of this, they didn't have access to most of this, but we do. And don't look at where you are now as in a very limiting way, because we tend to do that. We think we're not supposed to do this one, or this is my identity, this is who I am. Are you really sure? Anyway, and I think there was a time I was going through all this. I thought that I was just going to be somebody that was mostly boring, but that's not true. Healing connects you to yourself. I used to be so playful. So I know, like, growing up as a kid, I used to be a bit quiet at some point, but I know inside I was fun. I was playful, and now that's me. I reconnected with all those parts of me. I stopped caring about what people thought about me or their judgment towards me, because it doesn't matter. And because I know myself now, when you don't know yourself, you will look towards other people's validation or thoughts about you. So this was up this week. If you listen to the end, I appreciate you. If you missed the previous video, please go back and watch. It will give you a clear I don't know, understanding of why this is like the next video. But I'm grateful you stayed to the end. I hope to do more videos, share my experiences with you, and share more things that I'm learning. But anyway, have a beautiful week ahead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your favorite people. Bye. Hi
Hello,
friends, welcome
friends.
back
So,
to my
welcome back
channel.
to
Now
my
in this video, I'm going to be
channel.
sharing with you
I
six
think with the
lessons
last
I
time,
learned.
you're going to be seeing a lot of laughing because I talk and I laugh.
Hi friends, so what's next?